Tonight, a nationwide search for two missing children has come to a gruesome end. Family members confirm that the remains found on Chad Daybell's rural property in Idaho are the bodies of his stepchildren.
A bucket atop human remains.
On September the 24th, 2002, they would also have a child together, and her name was Tylee Ryan.
A neatly tied, layered plastic bag buried in a pet cemetery.
Alex would attack Joseph with a taser and threaten him with his life. Consequentially, Alex would be sentenced to 90 days in prison and 5 years in probation for the crime.
Two cult leaders preparing for the Armageddon, and a string of suspicious deaths leading up to their arrests.
The crimes are unimaginable. Lori Vallow Daybell stood trial for the murder of her own children, 16-year-old Tylee and 7-year-old JJ.
1. Conspiracy to commit first-degree murder. Count 2. Theft by first-degree murder. Count 3. Conspiracy to commit first-degree murder. And count 4. First-degree murder. Count 5. Conspiracy to commit first-degree murder.
He was also accused of killing Tammy Daybell, the wife of her current husband, Chad. Here was prosecutor Lindsay Blake.
Money, power, and sex. That's what this case is about. It didn't matter what obstacles she had to remove to get what she wanted. And if it was a person, it didn't matter who.
Lori was a beauty contestant. Anybody you spoke to who knew Lori back then said that she was like the mother of the year.
Welcome to The Female Criminal. Tonight, we enter a world where belief twisted into delusion and a mother's love curdled into an unspeakable act of violence.
Stay at the house, so I will book you a hotel, because he stays in hotels all the time because he travels for business, and the business pays for it, right? So I said, I will book you a hotel nearby.
What does he do?
This is the case of Lori Vallow Daybell, a woman who, driven by radical doomsday beliefs,
being a good mom is very important to me, and a good wife, and a good worker, and being all those things together is not easy. So I'm basically a teaching time bomb.
came to believe her own children were zombies, possessed by dark spirits. It is a story of a cult-like obsession and a profound betrayal of the most fundamental bond, that between a mother and her children.
So he's like, we had decided to separate or whatever. So he's like, well, I'll pay for a house for you and for JJ and whatever, because he's all about JJ. He's never about Tylee, but he's all about JJ. Because we adopted him together. He's his great nephew.
The story begins to unravel in January 2019, when Lori's husband, Charles Vallow, made a chilling 911 call.
He works with teachers in their retirement plans, but he goes to them. He mostly works in California, no matter where we live. And we lived in Hawaii. He'd work in California. He'd work in Texas. He has like books of business in different areas.
He was locked out of his house, unable to find his wife or children. He expressed grave concern for Lori's mental state.
Yeah, a lot of things. But anyway, so he said, I'm coming Wednesday night. All of a sudden, I want to see JJ. I told him, I said, I will never keep JJ from you. You can come see him whenever you want to. Come take him to school, whatever. Like, I'm not going to do that.
Revealing that she believed she was a resurrected being and a god. This was all tied to a man named Chad Daybell, who taught about the end of days and a disturbing concept of evil spirits, possessing people, turning them into zombies.
She's like, come back, and whatever. So I moved in with them to Houston for the family, and Tylee went with me. Drove to Houston from here and left all our family and all his support, all my son's support, like his cousins, everything. And we were there, and I enrolled him in school there. I tried to start all his services, and it takes forever. It takes so long to get that.
Lori began to believe that anyone with a darker spirit was a danger to her. 6 months later, Charles Vallow was shot and killed at Lori's house by her brother, Alex Cox.
Men need to do that. I have 5 kids. I have grown kids. I have grandkids. Okay, you're going to threaten me that you're not going to let me see my child without supervised visitation? Okay, do it for 30 days and see how long it lasts. You're begging me to come pick him up. But she did.
The police initially ruled it self-defense, but details like Alex shooting Charles a second time while he was on the ground raised serious questions. After Charles's death, Lori moved her children, Tylee Ryan and JJ Vallow, to Rexburg, Idaho, to be closer to Chad Daybell.
So when you initially moved, he had said he was going to buy you a house, so you moved here with your...
Yeah, he was going to rent us a house.
And so you moved...
All my family lives here. So we lived here for a long time.
Okay.
And then he moved us to Houston.
Okay.
And we were there with my son. He was out of school. He didn't have any of his, services, his DDD, his anything. He, ripped him out of school and said, we're moving.
Okay.
And I didn't go with him at first. And he took him.
It was here, in this remote town, that her twisted beliefs would take a fatal turn. Lori began to tell her friend Melanie that her own children had become zombies.
He came this morning. I was getting JJ.
So he got in last night, but he wasn't at the house last night.
Yeah, I didn't hear from him. Except for he texted me and said, I'll be there at 7:30 to pick up JJ.
Okay.
And I was like, okay.
The last time Tylee was seen was on a trip to Yellowstone Park on September 8th, 2019. Just 9 days later, JJ was last seen on September 17th, 2019. Both children vanished without a trace.
He hasn't been here in a couple weeks since we moved in. Okay. He came. He was very nasty when he was there, but he travels for business. So he went back to the Houston house. Okay. And he's like, I'm coming on Wednesday night. And I'm going to come pick up JJ and take him to school Thursday. Pick him up Thursday, take him Friday, whatever. And I said...
What followed was a desperate search for the missing children. A search met with silence and resistance from Lori and Chad. Their family and the police grew increasingly suspicious, but Lori consistently refused to cooperate. The search ended in June 2020.
He was just so angry, super scary.
Did you
know how you take your phone away from a 16-year-old and they freak out? Their world disintegrates. I've taken my phone away from a 16-year-old boy before, and he wanted to kill himself because they cannot function. That's how it was. It was
with a horrifying discovery on Chad Daybell's property. In a shallow grave, the bodies of Tylee and JJ were found. The details of their deaths were almost too terrible to believe. JJ's body was found wrapped in duct tape and plastic, while Tylee's had been dismembered and burned.
Freaking out. To the point where I thought he would hit me in the back of the head to get the phone.
Okay. So you thought, and I don't want to put words in your mouth, but you thought it was possible that he was going to hurt you.
Absolutely, he was going to hurt me and Tylee.
Okay.
Not JJ, he would never hurt JJ.
Okay.
And he hurt my brother.
Yeah.
Lori Vallow Daybell was arrested and eventually found guilty of first-degree murder, conspiracy, and grand theft. She was sentenced to 5 consecutive life sentences. In the eyes of many, justice was served. But for the family and for the victims, a permanent hole remains.
Or even JJ or whatever else.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
I hadn't thought about.
Yeah. So
he's used to him not being there, but he would understand even if you told him.
Right.
That somebody passed away, he doesn't understand
what that means.
Chad Daybell is still awaiting his own trial. A final chapter, yet to be written in this chilling tale of a family destroyed by a mother's darkest beliefs. The case of Lori Vallow Daybell is a profound, horrifying warning about the depths of human delusion and the tragic consequences when it takes over.
He says, come and get JJ, and JJ's like, I don't want Dad, because he knows Dad took him away, so he was freaking out, right? So I didn't tell him he was even coming, Dad's going to come take you to school or anything. So he didn't bother me last night, which I was surprised. I was expecting kind of an ambush for him to kind of come over or be just mean.
It is a testament to the fact that evil can sometimes be disguised as belief, and the truth, no matter how hard you try to bury it, will always rise to the surface. Lori Vallow Daybell is a female criminal whose actions send shivers down the spine. Thank you for confronting the darkness with us on The Female Criminal. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe for more raw and honest true crime stories, and hit the notification bell. We'll see you in the next one.